All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Aries Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about the Abyss in EVE Online. Now, the Abyss is kind of a testing ground for how well you can pilot ships and how your builds work inside there. And if we go up into the agency and go to encounters and go to Abyssal Deadspace, we can see a little bit about it. If you you get these things called filaments, abyssal filaments, and then you use them and it opens a little rift into the abyss. And you go in there, and there are 3 different rooms, 1, 2, 3, and you have 20 minutes to kill everything in the first room, go to the second room, kill everything in the second room, go to the third room, kill everything in the third room, and exit the abyss before your ship and your pod are blown up. So it's pretty dangerous to go in there if you're low skill or you haven't done it, so make sure you're flying cheap if you try it out the first couple times. There's lots of stuff that can go on in there. And so the first thing we got to talk about is filaments and the weather type. So there are 5 different types of abysses and 7 different levels. Tier 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so we're going to be running a Tier 1 today, and we're going to be running the Firestorm type. There are 5 different types. If you go into a dark abyss, all ships in the abyss, that means yours as well as all of the enemies in there, have a bonus to their maximum velocity and a penalty to their turret range. So probably don't want to take a turret ship into a dark abyss. So all the builds are changed out accordingly. Exotic Abyss has a bonus to scan resolution. If someone that knows more about this than me can explain why that's important in any way, shape, or form, please let me know. But penalties to kinetic resistance for your ship and every other ship in there. So if you go in there, you want to take kinetic damage in, because everyone's going to be weaker to it. So Gamma is bonus to shield hit points and penalty to explosive resistance. So bonus to shield HP works really well with a passive tank, because the more shield hit points you have, the more your shield regens passively. So passive tank shield ships are going to do really well inside here and deal explosive damage. That's what you want to do, because your opponents all have explosive holes. Electrical is bonus to capacitor recharge, so this is really good for ships with shield boosters or any sort of tank that wants to have good capacitor active tanking. It's really good in these. And penalty to EM resistance, so you want to deal EM damage. The one we're going to do today is a Firestorm. Everything in there has a bonus to armor HP. Now, that's not the most useful bonus. It's actually one of the worst bonuses out of all of these, because your enemies all have insane amounts of armor to chew through. And the bonus armor hit point doesn't really help you all that much. As far as like a passive shield tank, the bonus to shield HP is actually good, because it increases your regen. But the bonus to your armor HP just gives you a little bit more buffer. Makes you feel a little warm and fuzzy, but doesn't actually do much for you. And everything in there has a penalty to thermal resistance. So we're going to be dealing as much thermal damage as possible, and therefore today, because we get a little bit of bonus to our armor HP, whoop-de-doo, and a penalty to thermal resistance, we're going to be flying Galente. Yeehaw! So here we go. We're going to talk about the fit, which will be linked in thing. And I've never actually flown this fit before, but we're going to try it out together, you and I. Intrepid Explorer. We are going to fly a Vexer. So let's talk about what's going on here. We're going to use rails on this. I'm usually a blaster kind of guy. But the thing with the Abyss is you need to be able to operate at a lot of different ranges. And so blasters, you can't really deal with some of the spawns that you need to stay away from. There's a certain battlecruiser, who shall remain unnamed, that you have to orbit at 9k, 10k, something like that. And if you have a blaster fit, you're never going to be able to deal damage to it. There's a couple other spawns like that where you really can't engage them at blaster range. And so you almost have to fit rails. I have run Abyss with blaster Vexers, and I think I've gotten really lucky. I probably should have died before this, but so I have 3 of those on there, and by the time I was done fitting these 3 up, I was plumb fresh out of room in my Vexer for space. So I put a drone link augmenter on there, which allows me to really get my drones going out pretty far. And so then I have this compact 50mn Microwarpdrive on there. And that is, there's 2 ways to fit for Abyss: Afterburner or Microwarpdrive. Microwarpdrive, I feel, is just better. You just kind of want to go. You have to be careful if you're closing in on battleships with this on, because it makes you huge. And it increases your signature radius, which makes your ship effectively bigger for being hit by stuff. And you don't want to get hit by stuff. So Stasis Web 2, I could see an argument for the enduring version of this on here, but since I'm running rails and I really want to be able to hit stuff, I'm running this. We'll see how handy this comes in. And then a couple of compact medium cap batteries. Cap stability is actually a big deal in the Abyss. If you run out of cap inside there, it can be really, really bad. Your tank shuts off, you can't rep yourself, things go south really quick. Damage Control 2, it's the best best module in the game. Put it on everything, don't be a noob. Drone Damage Amp 2, because we like damage. Cap Power Relay for more cap stability. This is a kind of an iffy slot here, but with... Oops, hang on. Let's go to the simulation, because then we can actually see stuff. Without it, like, I only have 3.5 minutes of stuff, and with it, I'm basically cap stable, right? Except for my MWD, but we're only going to be pulsing that anyways. Standings decreased. Well, I never. And then we have a reactive armor hardener down here. This helps us survive the damage. My resists are pretty low on this boat, so we're going to just pray that our medium armor repair 2 can keep up with it. Again, I can see arguments for an enduring version of this, but the reps you lose is a little bit scary in my opinion. We have medium auxiliary nano pump here to make us even pumpier. About 7 more hit points a second, and that ain't too shabby. A capacitor control circuit 1 to give us that cap stability that we're looking for. Medium explosive armor reinforcer, because without it we are pathetic in the explosive business down there. So we're carrying Javelin and Spike because we're running Tech 2 rails, but you could probably do this without. Honestly, a lot of your damage is going to come from your drones anyway, so the rails are kind of whatever. So the main damage is coming from your drones. Now, we're not going to necessarily be launching a ton of ogres in here. I'm assuming that our hobs are going to do a lot of work inside here. It's very dangerous for drones inside the Abyss, and we'll find out why, and we'll see if I get blown up a bunch or not. But you can downgrade these, and you'll probably be okay. I'm not bringing extra flights of lights, which means I've got to be really careful with these guys, because they're the only ones I have. If I cut the ogres, and I could add, a bunch more light drones, and that would probably be better in the long run. But today we're taking some integrated ogres in, because I had them laying around, so whatever. They're coming with us into the Abyss. And I think that's all about this fit. So we're going to get into some Abyss, and we're going to run some of it. Okay, so the first thing you got to make sure you've got in your... whatever this place is called, the place where you put stuff inside your ship, the ship bay, the cargo thingy. You got to have one of these, the correct type of filament for the Abyss that you want to run. So in this case, I want Calm, which is T1, Tier 1 Abyss, and Firestorm, which is the weather type, the type of one that I'm going to run, the one that has the thermal resistance penalty, so I can blow people up in their thermal holes. And then it's go time. Now, you have to activate these filaments at a place that's away from stations and blah, blah, blah. It's just a good habit to get used to having a safe. So here's one that I labeled in all caps just so I know what's going on. And we're going to head out there. I've got my boat set up the way I like it, with my guns in F1 and my microwarp in F2, my web in F3, my armor repair in F4, and my reactive armor hardener, which I will never ever turn off, just sitting over here in F8. That just gets turned on and left on pretty much for the run. So you can activate the filaments once we get where we're going. In each room there's a different spawn. It's totally random, and it can be really good for your type of ship that you're running. It can be really hard to deal with. We're going to rely heavily on our drones here. We're actually going to switch to spike ammo so that we can just hit stuff really far away right off the bat, get some damage on some stuff as it's coming towards us. Things tend to spawn 50 to 60k away from where you warp in, so you can do that. So we're going to use this Calm filament, and you can activate filaments for 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers, takes 2 filaments, or 3 frigates, which takes 3 filaments. So you can have fleet mates and all that kind of stuff to do this. Now, I'm going to do another video about solo frigate, which is pretty fun. But right now we're doing solo cruiser. So I don't know if I'm going to blow up or not. If I do, I'm going to end up back in my nullsec system, because it blows your ship up and your pod if you lose inside here, or if you don't make it out in 20 minutes. So this is about a 42 million ISK fit to take in. All right, you can cut corners here and there, and you'll probably be okay. But we're going to activate this. I'm going to try to talk through it as fast as I can as I go, but there's not a ton of time to explain in the Abyss. But I just kind of want you to see what it's about, because there's definitely some good heart-pounding times. So we're going to activate that. This makes something called an Abyssal Trace, and in this solo cruiser version, you'll go right into it. If it's triple frig, you actually have to activate it. But in solo cruiser, it just shoots you right on in, and it's go time. We're going to actually try to turn this on, yeah. So we'll turn that on as we go. We have a Damavik and a Kikimora. And so we are going to target them both up, and we're going to launch our Hobbs against them. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to orbit this guy and get some guns on him right off the bat here. They're still yellow boxing me, which is a little nerve-wracking because I don't really want my drones to get eaten by these guys, and so a lot of time... There we go. Now I can get my web on this guy and we can start tearing into it. I'm going to swap ammo types back to Javelin. You can see just how much damage these guys do. It's pretty staggering. I'm going to go back to Javelin and shoot this guy up some. So these Damaviks are armor tanked, and they're little beastie guys. So we got to be really careful with them. If they start... the Damavik isn't even attacking me. I'm not sure what he's doing exactly. He's pretty far off, so we're going to switch back to Spike. We'll see if we can get him here. Yeah, he's going down. Then we're going to orbit this. I'm not sure I like this farther orbit. I thought it would work good, but I think we need to stay close. Whoops, I put my drones on the Kiki. I don't want them over there. They need to go on this guy. Because we really need to kill him off. Okay, now we're going to go in on the Kiki. We're webbing it down, so its velocity is about 180, so we can get some shots on it. And we're going back to Javelin. And we're going to try to take it out. There we go. Now our drones are doing some work here on the Kiki, and these are both armor tanked, so I don't really expect to do too much to them. Like I said, in this Firestorm Abyss, everybody's a little bit tankier than they normally are, so we really just got to be careful. And we're probably okay. Alright, I'm going to send my drones to blow up this thing called the Biocombinative Cache. There's always treasure in the Biocombinative Cache, just like there's always money in the banana stand. So the first thing we're going to do here is we got to get completely repped up because the next room is coming soon. And then we're going to send our drones to blow up the extraction subnodes. Now, mostly these nodes and subnodes are filled with hot garbage. But every once in a while, if I think I'm going to have enough time, I do like to go and grab them. And that was a terrible biocombinative cache. Really not much in there. So we are going to go grab this subnode down here just for fun. Because we've got a Microwarpdrive, we can afford to go down here sometimes and get some of this stuff. So see this, there's this grid here too that we have to watch out for. That grid is the out of bounds area. If we drift outside of that netting there, we start to take a ton of damage. So we don't want that to happen to us. So we're going to switch back to Spike for the next room. Now once you're done cleaning out whatever you want, this other thing is so far away. I'm not going to waste time going to get that. Because we want to just head into the next room and get to work in there. And see what's waiting to kill us in there. See what the next room has. Room 2 of 3, and we've used 3.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes. I'm good at math. This is the guy. This is the guy that we don't like. We don't like this guy. This thing has incredible damage. So we have to be very careful how we play this spawn. We're going to try sending our drones in, but I got a feeling that that's really not going to go so well. This guy tends to want to beat our drones up pretty bad. And so we'll see what he does. If he starts yellow boxing, that means he's going after our drones. If he doesn't, though, that's good for us. But the second he yellow boxes, I got to pull my drones because this guy does some serious damage. And we actually ended up getting in a little bit close here. I think I want Javelin here. Look at that damage. It's so ridiculous. I'm going to pulse my MWD once just so I can get out of his damage range here. Which might be bad because he might hit me pretty hard. See, he's killing one of our hammerheads because he's a jerk. Oh my god, the damage. Back, dude. Yes, he made it. Okay. We're going to send our drones back in on him. Actually, this guy's going to stay. Because we really don't want that. And the Tessera, we got to get the web back on him because he's coming in on me again. This spawn is very difficult. I really don't like it. And I missed the yellow box totally, which basically means my drones are a mess. But I don't want to die either, so okay. There we go. I'm going to lock up the biocombinative and bring my... Oh, it's called a bioadaptive here. No, I launched the wrong ones. Everybody, back in the bay! The Hobbs are going to go get that, and I think that I will not get the other ones this time. Sometimes there's clouds, 300% signature radius penalty. I would have been huge. I would have been huge inside this blue sparkly cloud area. So there's an orange one over here. There's a blue one here. So, man, those are some sad caches. But we're just going to play it safe and go into the third room. Let's see what's in here. So, just a lot of little dudes. Let's get some hits on them. As long as we've got our stuff going here. They're going to close on me pretty fast. So, and they're all actually red boxed. So I'm going to send my drones out a little bit here. And we're going to... Yeah, my rails are basically useless in here. This is very interesting for me to do because I don't usually run rails. But the one thing you have to watch out for here again is them yellow boxing, which means they're killing your drones and stuff. We're going to get this guy. Now, sometimes there are buildings in here that show up here as like kind of a gray box icon. We didn't run into any of them on here, but the main one, this guy's getting hosed. The main one that you need to watch out for. Oh, and there's a node right by us. We're actually going to probably try to kill all of these just for fun. Because we have time and we can. Are my rails tracking this even? Not really. They're a little bit too fast and too close. But that's okay because my drones know what to do. So that was the third room. Anyway, the main building that we have to look out for is the deviant automata something or other building. It kills drones, and so you really just need to watch out for that building. Again, like I said, we didn't really hit it in here. Okay, I'm stuck under a rock. This is definitely not good for my time. So we're gonna have to manually pilot because we know absolutely 100% what we're doing here. We're going to come up above this rock and we're going to get the treasure that's most certainly sitting in here. So like I said, the nodes and subnodes tend to not be so great. But we're going to do this. Oh, come on, Vexy. You can do it, buddy. Turn your little Vexer hull. Here we go. Ooh. Not too shabby. All right, we'll go get this other one. Where is it? Down there, huh? Well, I can't leave without bouncing off my good buddy Rock. There we go. Now, I'm cap stable with just the Microwarpdrive running, so we're just going to leave it on for the rest of the time, along with our Reactive Hardener, because, well, we just like it. Because we might be able to squeeze more out of this fit if we cut the guns entirely. I don't really know if that's the right play. But, okay, there was stuff in there. We'll go grab it. We've got 50... Yeah, we're fine. We're totally fine on time. The thing about Abyss, though, too, is if you disconnect or something, CCP doesn't care. You take the risk of whatever happens to your ship, whatever happens in the Abyss stays in the Abyss, essentially. The Abyss is Vegas. And so, if you discon or whatever happens, like, you know, tough nuggets, you're going to lose your Vexer or whatever ship you brought in here. I personally have known people that have lost billions on a single run inside the Abyss. So, you know, be careful if you don't want to lose your ship. So now we're heading back to the origin conduit. wherever that is. It's directly underneath my rock. So hang on, we got to do a little bit more manual piloting because we are smart Eves and we know what to do. And then we're going to talk about what we learned inside here. And maybe we'll change our fit quick, and maybe we'll run one more in case, so that we can get some different spawns so you can see some. So these Triglavian surveys that are in my inventory right now, these are sold to NPCs. Yes, you can sell them at stations like, you know, Dodixia or wherever, but you'll only get full price for them if you sell them to NPCs who want them. And so if you view market orders on these little guys, I don't know why I put it in quotes, that's literally what it says. If you view market orders on these, you can see anybody that's offering 100k ISK for them, buyers, is like an NPC. See, they want 1,111 of them for some reason. They're obsessed with just the same number. And so, you know, these are, I think, low-sec stations, but there are high-sec ones that you can find and sell them to. And so, you know, that's kind of how you want to play that. So let's go drop our stuff off and let's tinker with our fit a little bit. Nope, not the map, although it's very pretty. We don't want it right now. Okay, so we're going to simulate this. What happens if we just cut the guns entirely? How much fitting space do we get back, and what does that actually get us? If we cut the guns entirely, that gives us an absolute ton of fitting space. I think our rigs have to stay what they are. What if we go like this? What if we put this to a Tech 2 cap battery? That puts us at 7 minutes of stability. That's pretty good. But what does this slot give us? Drone nav, I guess. We could have... Whoops, there's no ship called a drone nav. Hang on, let me rectify this. So if we put the drone nav in, you know, you could do Tech 1 or whatever. That'll make our drones fly a little bit faster around. And then we could also probably put some kind of... I mean, do we want to be a remote rep? Remote rep is not amazing for drones, but, you know, I don't know what else we really want to do. So, I mean, we're not going to cut the guns right now. They do afford us a little bit of DPS. We could also go double web, but we don't really need that. What we need is we need our drones to go faster, so I'm wondering if the drone nav is a good idea. Because then if they start getting pounced on, they can get back to where they belong a little bit quicker. And we're still pretty cap stable like that. I mean, I really wish I could cram another drone damage amp down in here, but I don't think that we can. Anyway, we'll muse about that later. Let's go run another one really quick and see if we can get some more interesting spawns out of this one. So we're going to grab whatever we were running, Calm Firestorm, and we're going to head back out, and we're going to do another one. Yeah, because I really do need all that stuff.
Warp-drive active.
Because, like, although, you know what? I bet instead of one of these medium ones, we could fit a large one over here. Like a large compact, or... Let's see what the biggest one we can cram over there. So yeah, if we don't have the guns, we can fit like a large cap battery over there, which makes us ridiculously stable, right? Like super stable, which means we can cut that. Whoops. We could get rid of that, which could give us another DDA, which really bumps our DPS a ton. We can maybe still fit the drone nav. That's a tasty build. Look at that. Boy, oh boy. And then we don't need any of this ammo or any of this junk. And we're still pretty good here. Yeah, let's like, you know, we'll test that build out another day. That looks pretty fun to fly to me. We could go double web too. I don't think that's necessary. Anyway, enough musing for now. We have the ship we have. Let's use the Calm Firestorm filament and go inside and try not to get blowed up. I should have repaired my drones. Don't forget to repair your drones, kids, because you are a good Eve and you know what you's doing. I'm just a little irresponsible and a little reckless, so. Alright, here we go. We're turning our reactive hardener on right away so that we can get some kind of thing, and we're just going to leave like javelin in here because whatever. Alright, so here we go. This is a battleship spawn, and so the trick here is to get in without getting your butt totally blown up. This guy hits really hard, and by the time we get in there, we're probably going to have some damage. Why did my reactive hardener turn off? So we are going to bust out our hammers here for the spearfisher. Yeah, that hurts. And I'm scrambled, which is probably okay, honestly. Oh, there's a short-range deviant automata tower here. So my drones just took a bunch of damage. So I really did not read this room very well at all. But I think that we're going to get through this guy, and then we're going to try to get in on this battleship. Ugh, he keeps doing that. Okay. Now our drones are going to go for this guy. So this short-range deviant automata tower, this is the thing that I was talking about before. We really don't want to get hit by this thing. Actually, we're going to orbit at 500 on this guy, I think. Because, oh man, we're going to take a bunch of damage. So we'll see if... Oh my god, get off of here. Hang on, this giant thingy's in my way. But we have got to keep some kind of transversal up on this thing, because the amount of damage it throws out is silly. Okay, so this short-range deviant automata thing damages your drones if you're within 20 km of the short range. There's also a medium range one. And so if your drones fly into there, it can be very, very dangerous. Okay, we're going to pulse this one more time just so we can get in on this turkey before we get blown up. And we're going to start shooting our guns because, I don't know, they're on the boat anyway, so we might as well do it. And you know, I honestly probably didn't even really need to fly in on this. I'm not really used to flying a ship that you don't have to orbit at 500 with blasters. So I can probably orbit this guy farther out. And he's still hitting me, but it doesn't hurt too bad. My reactive's definitely doing the thing it's supposed to do. Now this guy, I'm actually going to web him down. He's really close to the edge. Sometimes the battleships like to fly really far away, which is annoying. Okay, well, we got him. It was hard work, but we did it. And I flew kind of bad there. But we're just going to grab this cache here. We're going to let our hops go blow it up because... Well, hang on, I got guns. This is what your guns are for. Your guns are for blowing stuff up. So let's blow stuff up. Oh, yeah. Now let's see what's in this other thing. Oh, let's see if there's stuff in there. There's stuff inside. I don't generally like going there before I know if I'm going to have enough time to finish the whole thing. There's stuff in that one too. Maybe we'll just go get it because we like to live dangerously. And it makes an exciting video. Or we'll blow up horribly. See who's close. So those two guys are kind of close, and then where's the other one? The other one is completely on the opposite side. Alright, we'll go get these two over here since they're close, and then we'll go through the thing. So it seems like the nodes and subnodes, I run a lot of solo triple frigate, so the nodes and subnodes aren't worth nearly as much in that, I don't think. But in the cruiser version, they seem to be worth a pretty decent amount, almost as much as the bioadaptive. So hey, I'm changing my recommendation. Go get these guys if you have time, especially if you have an MW80 fit. The nice thing about the Vexer 2 is that you can hit any damage hole with it as long as you bring the right drones, especially since the guns don't seem to be a very big deal on it. Since we here at Aries Gaming don't test out our ideas before we do them, we just kind of go. That's just how it is around these parts. So, you know, you should be able to, just by swapping out the types of drones you're carrying, be able to just run whatever one you feel like. Because like I said, the armor HP buffer in the Firestorms really isn't that important because it doesn't really help your tank at all. Oh, here's one of these dorks again. Alright. So, this has a short-range deviant automata tower as well. It's way up there behind us, though, so I don't think it really matters. We're going to orbit this guy at, I don't know, 14k or something. And we're going to let our hammerheads go in there and pound him to death. Because we hate this guy. This is like my least favorite spawn. So if he starts yellow boxing our drones, they have got to come back immediately. And we're going to turn this on because we feel a little scared. And we're going to shoot our guns because, darn it, we've got them in. Oh my god. Oh my god. He started, see, look at this. He barely even is doing anything. He's still yellow boxing. Oh my god. I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. He's still yellow boxing. Ah! Okay, we gotta launch again. I know I'm already launching drones. The hobgoblins, go! If you die, it's not as big of a deal. This guy is so difficult. Now, as we're kind of kiting away from him, we need to make sure we're not going to the edge of the arena here. I just can't believe how much damage. Are we on the right type of ammo? No. Spike and Javelin are named backwards in my opinion, but whatever. What are you going to do? We can kite this guy okay. We didn't watch for the yellow box and we lost 2 Hobgoblin 2 or 2 Hammerhead 2s. We're feeling a little sheepish right now. Yellow box. Oh my god. Look at this. Did he just one-shot this guy? You can get back in my bay. Get back. Yay. He's red boxed again. I hate this spawn. It's absolutely the worst spawn in the whole Abyss. I'm sure that you know, have your own. If you run Abyss, you probably have your own much hated thing. But for me, it's got to be this guy. It's just annoying. So we lost a couple Hammer 2s. They're pretty ripped up. Okay, so here's this battleship combo again. Now, we're gonna try to nail down this Lancer quick here. We gotta turn our armor up on. We just want to get in a nice orbit around this guy. Maybe at 500, whatever. And we're gonna web him down because we're jerks. We don't feel like having him be able to do much. So let's see. Yeah, when we're in this close, he can't really hit us. Fortunately, his tracking is just awful, even though my Vexer is slower than a snail. It's fine. So his little laser beams are going right around us there. And we should be able to chew through whatever he's got here. So in order to fight that Tessera battlecruiser, I'm still thinking about it, I know. We need some kind of drones that can orbit it farther away. So maybe we launch ogres against it and put some kind of tracking computer instead of the drone nav, just in case we run into that spawn. I don't know. It's an AoE DOT. So we've got about 2.2 million, and I probably lost that much in hammerheads. So this run might be a total wash. That's it for this run. I'll let you know how my new Vexer, gunless Vexer build does, and you know, we'll kind of try it out from there. But thanks for watching. I hope this gave you just an idea of what the Abyss is like. We got 3 mil out of this run and some amount out of the other one, so it's pretty good. This ship only cost me 40 mil, and it's actually even less than that because I just had a Vexer laying around that I slapped all this stuff onto. So yeah, it can be quite lucrative to run these. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy watching me screw up flying the Abyss. And I will see you next time on Aries Gaming. Thanks.